Israelites come week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of America and to tell the people on this side who we are. Anybody of Negro, Indian, or Latino descent are the true children of Israel according to the Bible. And you know, we had one of Esau's mirth events again, and of course, this is a Latino woman, a Brazilian woman that wanted to hear about the scripture, so the brother basically teaching her origins and why she's part of the children of Israel. But we had a few lessons to come out with. We had a few lessons to come out with, but you know, it's gonna be all by the Spirit. So with that,
Alright, it's kind of funny, you know, we got a Latino here, and you know, anybody's paying close attention to the things that's happening over there in Syria right now, Damascus being its capital. Alright? Like the elders brought out, you got a lot of Ephraimites that dwell over there in Damascus at this point in time, or present-day Puerto Ricans, whether they know they are or not. They're in the Gentile mind state, okay? So we're gonna start out. Please get Amos 1:5.
This is Amos chapter 1, verse 5. I will break also the bar of Damascus, and cut off the inhabitants of the plain of Aven, and him that holdeth the scepter from the house of Eden. And the people of Syria shall go into captivity into Kir, saith the Lord.
Alright, now Kir is Mesopotamia. It also means a wall. Now Kir, or Mesopotamia, is the land that resides between the Tigris and the Euphrates, you said?
Yep.
Alright, so that land that they currently speak of right now is are the refugees that have been fleeing from that war, have fled to Lebanon, Iraq, Jordan, and Turkey. Okay?
Right. And Mesopotamia is, in between, Iraq and Iran, Turkey. Mesopotamia is all through that area, all through that river system. It's called the Mesopotamia.
That's where you're getting a lot of these refugees fleeing to, okay? So the Lord is taking them away from that war zone, so to speak. Usually, like when, for instance, when the war in Iraq broke out, you have refugees fleeing more so to their neighboring countries, but a lot of them didn't make it. A lot of them got killed, pushed out refugees out there, but it was a lot of casualties. Not to say that this hasn't had many casualties, especially since we had the gas that they use, the chemical warfare that's been started over there. Of course, it's promoted by Obama, and these devils have begun giving them these chemical weapons to shoot over there, and they supplied it to these rebels. Because if you stop and you think about it, if these rebels already had the capability, or Assad had the capability to use these chemical weapons against their people, why wouldn't they have done it a long time ago? They use every weapon in their arsenal against each other, alright? Against the civil war that's in their country, alright? They use AKs, missiles, rockets, all these things. But chemical warfare is not just necessarily a new thing, but recently that's been a big thing lately, alright? They killed over 13,000 people, okay? But another thing we'll go into is another scripture we'll go into is in Amos 3 and 12.
Terrorize the people of the world. Terrorize their own people.
Please.
This is Amos.
He's even worse than the devil.
Amos chapter 3, verse 12.
You see, the devils, they care for each other.
Thus saith the Lord, as the shepherd taketh out of the mouth of the lion 2 legs, or a piece of an ear, so shall the children of Israel be taken out of that dwell in Samaria, in the corner of a bed, and in Damascus in a couch.
Alright, so hold up. He said that they were being taken from Damascus. Alright? The question is, where they being taken to? Now it's also been stated that they've been they also fled to other places, okay? So remember, they have a Latino spirit, whether they live as Gentiles, okay? They think in many of them probably think that they actually are Syrians or the actual Syrians is Hamites. These motherfuckers, they actually think that they actually Ishmaelites and stuff, you know? So it's a spiritual thing that they also fled to Brazil, Colombia, and Brazil, Colombia, and Venezuela. All right, Brazil has over 3 million refugees, and they started fleeing there from 2011. All right. And what they're doing also is, you know, they're enrolling in Spanish classes. They're not, I wouldn't say they're embracing their heritage because this is their true heritage, all right? But it's just a thing that they have fled back to these other countries, and it's actually just a remnant of those people. You got any more on that?
Manasseh and Ephraim, which is also him.
Hear ye and testify in the house of Jacob, said the Lord Yahweh, the God of hosts.
All right. And another thing is, you know, that's just the Lord scattering our people getting ready for this war, all right? Because you still got people over there that's actually been living by the law, statutes, and commandments in their hearts, like not knowing, you know, they actually, that's not falling into all of these different regimes and falling into being a Muslim and all that. They actually changed up and actually started worshiping the Lord in their heart, you know? They can go after that. Where was that at? In, I believe that was in Romans.
The second chapter of like these not having the law but are a law unto themselves.
Yeah, they have a law to themselves because, I mean, even before a lot of us brothers, we were searching for that identity and who we truly are before we came into this truth, okay? We went to different kind of churches, and the reason we were going to different churches was because we were still searching for that identity, okay? And you get at one church and you have a problem, so you flee to another one because there's not order in each place until you came into this truth. All right, that's not all the brothers' story, but that's some of our brothers' stories. Like us brothers here, we all went through that, okay? And it was just something that wasn't agreeing because it also says that our spirit bear witness. Our spirit wasn't bearing witness to that message they was teaching in these churches. It didn't make no damn sense, okay? And then the Lord brought this truth to us, but ever since then, there were certain things that we wouldn't do. We wouldn't knowingly go out and, you know, openly commit adultery because it's just certain things that you wouldn't do that didn't agree with your spirit.
This is Romans chapter 2, verse 14. For when the Gentiles which have not the law do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves.
And it ain't talking about, you know, Gentiles as far as the actual heathens. It was talking about Israelites that were scattered abroad who basically lost their heritage, so to speak.
That's it.
Which show the work of the law written in their hearts, their conscience also bearing witness, and their thoughts the meanwhile accusing or else excusing one another.
There you go.
So basically, that, you know, that's just the spirit in an Israelite that don't even know that it's an Israelite. You know? You know, most of our spirits bear witness that we ain't no goddamn Muslims or nothing like that.
And our spirit bear witness we ain't no Africans, man.
Right.
Oh, you got a problem with that.
I mean, if you ask most Jakes, well, I mean, you ask them how they like to have their meat cooked, they don't tell you they like their meat well done. They don't like it with a little bit of blood flowing in it.
Right, because the Lord said, you don't eat no blood throughout your generations. And that's just them being a law unto themselves, not having the law. That's part of that spirit.
Yes, sir. Can you please turn to Isaiah 17, 1 all the way down to 5,
That's the reason why right now, since we feel the break.
and if you Latino, y'all should be listening to this truth and this word right here, okay? So you part of the 2 tribes of Israel. The 12 tribes is actually your inheritance. So you walking past and you can, what is it, Isaiah 17, starting at 1?
Yeah, they catch on too. It's like how
No, what about the Spanish?
Well,
Isaiah chapter 17, verse 1. The burden of Damascus. Behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city.
so they being taken away from being a whole. So they breaking them in half because if you're not a city, all right, you got a commonwealth and then you got a metropolitan or a city, okay? So it's being broken down. It's being smashed into pieces and it's no longer a metropolitan. Go ahead,
And it shall be a ruinous heap. The cities of Aurora are forsaken. They shall be for flocks which shall lie down, and none shall make them afraid. The fortress also shall cease from Ephraim,
Alright, and that fortress, that's that protection.
and the kingdom from Damascus, and the remnant of Syria, they shall be as the glory of the children of Israel, said the Lord of hosts.
And that remnant, that's why the Lord is scattering a lot of them spiritually down to Brazil and all of these other countries that's inhabited by Latinos, okay, and Native Americans. The reason they doing that is because he's setting them up. He's taking them away from that nuclear destruction that's gonna come onto these other places, especially Syria. Syria, Iran, these places are gonna be blown off the map.
Right,
Okay?
and that remnant of Syria is not talking about the other nations. It's talking about the Israelites that are in there.
That's it.
Which are really Ephraimites.
That's it.
So they actually Israelites
That's
in
that making
Syria.
away
That's
to
the
flee.
remnant that
That's
it's
it.
talking about.
So that, yeah, that's Puerto Ricans, okay? We ain't talking about all them Syrians over there that you see gurgling up, you know, a lot of them ones that you see over there, you see on the news like RT or CCTV and all these different news style, Al Jazeera, that's gurgling up and dying from these gases holding their dead children. Some of those are those Ephraimites that went worshiping after these idols of these other nations. I forgot what their god was called. But another thing they also done is those are actual Ishmaelites that are actually dying, and they actually feeling the beginning of this death, the defeat that they took us to. They also brought us into captivity. They had something to do with that. So now they people are suffering slowly.
Right, and that's why all them Ishmaelites is going through.
Right now we reading from Isaiah. It's lucky.
Okay, anything else?
Yes, sir. Can someone please turn to Acts 15 and 25, please?
Got it out?
And can you please get Jeremiah 49 and 23? Yes, sir.
This is Jeremiah. Oh, you want to go first?
That don't matter. You can go first, actually. So I can all in order.
49 or what?
49 and 23.
Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 23, concerning Damascus. Hamath is confounded and Arphad, for they have heard evil tidings. They are faint-hearted. There is sorrow on the sea.
So
it cannot be quiet.
They heard these evil tidings because a lot of this stuff that's happening, that's evil tidings. Hey, World War III, this is going to be the grounds for World War III is going to take place. This is going to be the battlefield. This is where it's going to start at. That's an evil tiding, all right? Like when Jeremiah came and he started prophesying, letting the children of Israel know that they will be taken into captivity, and all of these other prophets as well. That's an evil tiding on their people, because guess what? Evil times is coming upon you. It's like a tide. When you see the tide rolling in, it's not there yet, but it's coming towards you. Go ahead out.
How is the city of praise left? How is the city of praise not left, the city of my joy?
So if the city of the Lord's praise, which was Jerusalem, is not left, how is the rest of these cities going to look? Okay? And that don't mean physically, because yes, physically it's there, but we're not inhabiting that city. And Jerusalem is a people before a place. Go ahead out.
Therefore her young men shall fall in her streets, and all the men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord of hosts.
So when that nuke hit their ass, it's gonna be a wrap. Actually, that's already starting now. They men is falling in the streets as we speak. Not just from chemical warfare, but they also falling because a lot of these insurgents and a lot of these rebels is killing each other, okay? They set them against each other the same way they did in Iraq. When they went into Iraq, what they do? They said the Taliban was the rebellious ones, okay? All they doing is trying to destabilize the nation from the inside out. Once you destabilize it from the inside, you can set up democracy, and with that democracy, you can bring in whatever the hell you want to bring in.
Same thing they did to Egypt, same thing they did to over with Gaddafi.
Exactly. Same thing they also did in Bosnia. You know, they also destabilized and tore down the Soviet Union the same way. Okay, they get involved in they skirmishes when they wait for a civil war to take place in that country. Then they come in and they give that certain side more power than the other, whichever side is willing to agree to their terms. They give them that power and that assistance to conquer their foes. Okay, you watch Naruto, that's the Akatsuki, man. That's all they is. That's another story. Go ahead. Where you at right now?
27. And I will kindle a fire in the wall of Damascus, and it shall consume the places of Ben-Hadad.
That's that nuclear destruction, okay? That's that thermonuclear fire and heat.
So Syria is so America is definitely going into Syria.
That's it.
And Russia has been amassing warships in that area as well, and China as well. So Russia and China is